Hi, Professor. Um, this is my final project, the cost method versus equity method. And here's the agenda. I'm going to talk about the background and context and cost method, equity method, and accounting issue, decision, real world example, and its application, and the conclusion. And I'm going to add some sources. Okay, um, and my topic is cost method versus equity method for investments in other company stock. So I'm gonna focus on how each method can change what gets reported for income and investment balance, and which method gives financial statements users a clear picture. Mm, and companies buy shares in other companies for different reasons. Sometimes it's a passive investment, and other times it's strategic, like building a long-term partnership or having an input in decisions. So counting the mainly depends on how much influence the investor has. And PwC explains that the equity method generally used when the investor has significant influence over the investees' operating and financial policies. Um, the Under the cost method, the investment is recorded at what investor paid, and after that, the investor usually recognizes income only when the dividends are received. So, if the investee performs well but doesn't pay the dividends, the investor may show little or no income from that investment during that year. This can make investors' income look uneven or less connected to the investee's actual performance. Under the equity method, the investor recognizes its share of the investee's earnings or losses and adjusts the investment balance over time. The Deloitte's guidance under ASC 323 explains that the investor recognizes its share of earnings or the losses in a period which the investee earns them, rather than the dividends are paid. In this method, dividends are reduced investment balance because the part of the investment's value has already been recognized through the investor's share of the earnings. Um, this leads to the main accounting issue and decision. The method choice can change reported net income and how performance appears. With the cost method, timing of the income can be driven by the dividend policy, which may not match the investee's real performance for the period. Um, with the equity method, income is more like earnings driven, and because it's investor records its share of the results, even if no dividends are paid. So decision question in which method best reflects the investor's relationship with the investee. The PwC emphasizes that the equity method is linked to the whether the investor can exercise the significant influence. If that influence exists, the equity method often provides more decision useful information because it reflects the investor's ongoing economic interest in investees' results. Um, um, And also, for example, imagine a company that buys 25% company B and then participates in major decisions like budgeting or strategy. That kind of involvement suggests that there's significant influence, so which is why equity method is more commonly applied in those cases. So, so um, this matters because the investors and lenders rely on the reported income and then balance sheets and stuff. To conclude, the cost method tends to make investments, as I said before, the investment income dividend driven, and then while the equity method makes it more like a performance driven and updates investment balance over the time. So that's why this topic is more important in practice. So it affects the earnings and balance sheet and how users judge the company's relationship and influence over the another business. I use these sources as for this presentation. So here are the references. Thank you.